Hi everybody, in this video I wanted to show you how you could increase the number of Deagles or Desert Eagles, the amazing handgun in DayZ, and golden Desert Eagles as well, on your DayZ custom private community server by adjusting the XML files, the types.xml. We're also going to look at increasing the scope, the suppressor, and the 357 rounds, and the Desert Eagle mag that goes with it, because obviously if you increase the number of Desert Eagles, you're going to want to increase the number of magazines and ammunition available for it as well. So what you want to do is you need to get your types.xml file off your server. So I'm going to use Nitrado as an example here. You may well use FTP. Skip forward a bit if you're cool with doing all this already, but on Nitrado you click on the web interface icon of the relevant server you want to modify. You go down to the file browser, and then you go into DayZ PS missions. Now if you're on PC, there's a few more steps you've got to do to get to the PS missions, but you could actually just search for the file, and then you'll either go to DayZ offline.generous plus, or Enoch is the Livonia one if you're working on a Livonia server. And then we want to go into the DB, the database folder, and then you'll want to download the types.xml, or you can edit it in the browser. I'd always recommend you download it if you can. And when you download it, make a copy of it as well. And then what you want to do as well is make sure that you, before we upload the new files, you'd want to stop the server and then restart it. So you might want to let any people know on the server that you're going to be doing that. Now once you've got the types file open, I'd recommend you could just use Notepad if you wanted, but Notepad++ is a really good free text editor that colors stuff, you can see, so it's easier to see mistakes. And then all we do is just do Control F, or whatever it is in your Notepad, and we're just going to look for the Deagle, like this. There we go, so it's found the Deagle. As you can see, we've got both versions of the Deagle here. We've got the Deagle and the Deagle Gold. The normal version of the Deagle, there should be 25 of them spawning on a vanilla server as I'm making this video. They start restocking when the number gets down to 15. The cost is 100, so it's a high priority item. The central loot economy counts them just in the map, so it only counts those 25 if they're sitting on the map somewhere. If a player's got them, or they've got them in a barrel, or they've stashed them somewhere, it doesn't count them. Obviously it's a weapon. You'll find them in towns and villages. However, they're tier 4 and tier 3, so this means that they're sort of further to the northwest in Chernarus. So you wouldn't find them around the coast. You'd have to go further inland. So first things first, so let's say we wanted to increase this, I don't know, I always think you're okay increasing things by a quarter to a half. So let's add another, I don't know, let's add another 15. So let's take it up to 40 Deagles, and let's change the minimum so it restocks at, say, 30. And let's say we wanted them to be a little bit easier to find. So what you could do is, if we copied tier 3 like this, and then put in and change the 3 to a 2, there we go, and then you'd find them there. Now the other thing you could, so they'd be closer to the coast, not on the coast. I mean, what you could do is you could delete to the tier 3, tier 2 thing, and then they'd be found all over the place in towns and villages. The other thing you could do if you wanted to is you could take the usage name, and then you could add another usage name. And with DayZ, you have all the items have a tag in terms of what they are: clothes, containers, vehicle parts, weapons. But then they have a location tag as well, where you'll find them. So what we could do is we could take that military one, and we could add town, village, military, like that. So now they'll be found in military bases as well, which kind of makes sense for a Desert Eagle, doesn't it? So that's pretty cool. So we've added it to 40, so that's good. So let's look at the Desert Eagle Gold. Now the Desert Eagle Gold, there's only ever 5 of them on the map. They start restocking when they're down to 2. And if we look at where the loot economy counts them, it counts them in the map, but also counts them when the player's got one. So if everybody picks up those 5 Deagles and they've got them, the DayZ server will go, right, I'm not going to spawn in any more. So one of the things you could do is you could change to count in player to 0. So that would spawn some more in. But let's say we're not happy with 5. Let's make it 15. And then we want to put the minimum so they start restocking when they get down to 10. Now what you'll see here is actually the Desert Eagle is found in towns all over the map. There's no tier restriction on it. So that's pretty good, isn't it? So that's why when you put lots of Desert Eagles onto a server, you're more likely to find them than the normal ones because you can find them around the towns on the coast like Cherno and Electro and places like that. But you may well want to go, okay, I'll tell you what, I want to make it easier for people. So let's add in, let's copy this over. Let's put them in. There we go. So now they're going to be available as a weapon in any town, any village, and in any military tagged location. So that's pretty easy, isn't it? So then we could save that and we could upload it. However, as we said before, there's no point just increasing the Deagles. You want to increase the accessories that go with them. So the scope is a really cool thing for your handgun. Now this one's a little bit more difficult to find. This one's actually called I think it's called the PistolOptic. So if you do find and then type in optic, there's the ACOG, BUS, keep going, hunting optic, Castan optic, Kazir optic, Cobra optic. Keep going. PistolOptic, there it is. So there you go, PistolOptic, one word. Now this will fit the Desert Eagle and the Gold Desert Eagle. There's only 10 of them normally on the server, so I don't know, let's double that to 20. Now I'm being a bit cavalier with my values here. One of the things you should be doing is, as you're adding items like 10 more PistolOptics, you should probably take away 10, I don't know, of the jackets that aren't any good. Maybe like the dress shoes. You know, the stuff that people don't use apart from using it for, well, your dress shoes you can't use for anything really, apart from an emergency. So let's put the minimum up to, I don't know, 15. And let's see, so they're counted just on the map. That's good. Now this is interesting, you see, that the PistolOptic is only found in hunting locations. And tier 3, so you won't actually find the optic where the guns are, because remember the Desert Eagle, we found that in towns and villages and we added military, didn't it? So you'll never find a PistolOptic where you'll find a Desert Eagle. You're going to have to go to you know, those hunting viewing platforms that are dotted around, somewhere like that. So we could say, all right, okay, so why don't we add, as far as the usage, couple. So we go paste. So again, we can, as for reference, we can go back to our central economy and go, okay, so we've got town and village, aren't we? So let's go usage, town, and then let's add in village. And let's add in tier 2. Oh, not 32. Tier 2. So now they'll be able to find a now they'll be able to find them closer to the right now I've made a mistake here. You see where I've deleted that inverted comma, the quotation marks. There we go. That's one of the beauties of Notepad++. If you do make a mistake and you delete something or add something you shouldn't do, so it doesn't open and close the tags properly, it will show you. It's super powerful, that, because otherwise I might have missed that, and then when you come to upload it and then your server stops working properly. So there we go. So now there's more PistolOptics and they're found in different places. Now what we'll do, because I kind of get the feeling that this might come in useful. We're going to copy all of this just so we've got it on our clipboard. And so the next thing we're going to look at is the 357 rounds, which is the ammo for the Desert Eagle. So let's go back to the top, and all we need to do now is Control F, and if we just look for 357, it will go to them straight away. There's probably two. Yeah, so we've got there's loose for 357 and box 357. So before we adjust the value, let's just come down here and we can see that box 357 is only found in villages. So why don't we paste that and then get rid of the tiers and get rid of that what level there, and actually, and we could probably also add in copy paste. Let's add in military as well. There we go. So we've said these ammo boxes are going to be found in villages, in hunting places, in towns, and in military locations. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So there should be, on a vanilla server, 40 357 boxes of 357. So let's add that up to, let's add half, so let's go up to 60. The minimum, let's add up to 40. And it just counted in player, so that's fine. So that's good. So there'll be lots more of those. Again, we'd save that. And then what we'll do, let's just copy this, your village, hunting, town, and military, because what we want to find next is the next 357. So this is the loose 357. You know, when you just find a handful of bullets, and so there's 80. That's quite a lot of those. So I'm probably not going to add any more of those. Now, as you can see, they're found in the farm as well. So if we paste over the top of that one and delete that, so now you'll find loose 357 in the farm where it's meant to go, but also in villages, in hunting locations, in towns, and military. So that's good. I mean, I've left it at 90. I'm not a big fan. I'd rather have more boxed ammo than loose ammo around my server. So the last thing we need to look at is the mag, because it's no point having more ammo and more deagles if you haven't got the magazines to put them in. So let's just copy, make sure we've got that copied, because I think that's going to come in handy in a minute. Let's go back to the top and let's find, you just happen to look for Deagle actually for this one and it should find it. So there's the Deagle, there's the Desert Eagle Gold, there's the magazine. So first things first, as you can see, the Desert Eagle magazine is found in towns and villages. So let's expand that a little bit. So let's add hunting, town, and military. So that's good. And let's have a look at the, so there's meant to be 40 of them. So I don't know, let's increase that to 60. Put the minimum up to 40. So it's only found in the map, so that's good. Everything else looks the same. Oh, what we could do as well is, see it says quant minimum, quant max. If we change the quant minimum to 99, that'll mean that all of these magazines will spawn in full of bullets as well. So as soon as you get one, you can put it in your Desert Eagle and you'll be good to go. So again, we would save that. I would also recommend actually that you may want to consider using a XML validator with anything you would just do adjusters on. So somewhere like xmlvalidation.com, and you copy your file here, and then you can see if there's any errors. Just ignore any errors that are to do with comments, especially the army one. It tends to be in your spawnable types, comes up with that, but it should come up with no errors. That way you know you haven't made any spelling mistakes. So we're happy we've done everything, so now we would just save that. And then we would go back to our Nitrado server, or if you use an FTP, stop the server, upload the file, restart the server, and then gradually these are going to spawn in. Just remember that they won't be spawning in straight away, because other stuff has to get out of the way. As of 1.09, the lifetime of items spawned, I think, is 2 days. So it can take quite a while for the new ones to really start to spawn in. But you know, give it a few days, and then the players on your servers should start to see more deagles, more golden deagles, more ammo, more mags, more scopes, and all that sort of stuff. And as I said before, we've added a lot of stuff in by adding these Desert Eagles and normal deagles. So you really want to take some stuff out. So go through your types.xml and take out stuff that people don't use. It's mainly the crap clothing, you know, like skirts and things like that. Anyway, that's enough for me. Hopefully you found that useful. If you have, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more of the same, and I'll see you again soon.